Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Saturday, March 25, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Florida Atlantic vs Kansas State. The Owls came into this having never won a game in the NCAA tournament. Their third tourney victory coincided with Coach Dusty May's 100th career victory, and now the team sits one game from the Final Four. Foul shot just 37.5% and scored only 22 points in the first half against the Vols, but were only down by 5 at the half. After a back-and-forth second half, the Owls took over halfway through with an 18-2 run that turned the tide completely. They would outscore Tennessee 40-28 over the final 20 minutes and would finish the game with 40 rebounds and 26 points in the paint. It was the 10th win straight up for Florida Atlantic, who have averaged 71.2 points per game in their 6 postseason tilts, which includes 3 CUSA tourney games. On the season they have averaged 78 points per game on 46.6% shooting overall, 57th best in the country. In the NCAA tourney FAU is shooting just 40.3% overall, but are averaging 42 rebounds per game. Having been through the Big 12 ringer this season, the Wildcats are now showing how battle-tested they really are, despite losing their last 2 games prior to the NCAA tournament. Their game versus the Spartans on Thursday night proved their mettle, as these two were throwing haymakers back and forth all night long. In a game that saw 16 lead changes, K-State owned a 5-point lead at the half after shooting 61.5%. Despite shooting 48.5% in the second half, the Spartans were relentless and tied the game with just 6 seconds remaining to send it to overtime. The Wildcats' shooting stayed hot, going 6 for 9 to finally pull the game out. They hit 11 three-point shots and scored 44 points in the paint, proving they can impose their will pretty much anywhere. In their 3 tourney games, Kansas State has averaged 83.3 points per game and has shot 54.2% overall. On the year they averaged 76.2 points per game on 46.1% shooting. This will be the first ever meeting between these two programs, and there were no common opponents between them this season. Kansas State 23-12 ATS this season, 7-2 ATS in their last 9, and 3-0 ATS in the tournament. Florida Atlantic is 23-11-1 ATS this season, 7-3 ATS in their last 10, and 2-1 ATS in the tournament. Unfortunately for the Owls, this may be where the fantastic journey comes to an end. FAU recorded just 2 blocks, 1 steal, and 6 turnovers versus a defensive-minded Tennessee team. That will not work versus the Wildcats, who will take full advantage of a defense that's soft. Kansas State can kill you inside and out. They hit 11 three-pointers against Michigan State, while also scoring 41 in the paint. They also have Nowell going off, and the Harlem native looked very comfortable playing in front of a very friendly and familiar crowd at the Garden. The Wildcats have shot nearly 55% overall in the tourney, while the Owls are right around 40%, a massive gap that we will see exploited by Kansas State here. Things of course tighten up with each passing game in the tournament, but this number is still very low given the matchup. Our team pick is Kansas State -2 points. Donnell Davis scored 15 points versus Tennessee to lead the Owls in scoring for the second straight game. He scored 29 versus Farley Dickinson in the game prior. A big catalyst for the sophomore guard's output was his ability to get to the line, shooting a combined 17 for 19 from the charity stripe in those 2 games. Davis also pulled down a combined 18 rebounds in those games. Guard Marquis Nowell has done an outstanding job at quarterbacking the offense in this tournament. The senior has shot 47.7% overall, averaging 21.3 points and 14 assists per game, including a record 19 dimes against Michigan State. Nowell also recorded 5 steals against the Spartans and has 11 total in the 3 tourney wins. This matchup features 2 top half-tempo teams and 2 top 50 offenses. KenPom ranks Florida Atlantic 143rd in tempo and 29th in adjusted offense, while Kansas State checked in at 41st in tempo and 47th in offense. These are great indicators that we could be in for some big points here, despite how well the under has performed in this year's tournament. The Wildcats, however, are the anomaly, with all 3 of their games hitting over in the tournament and 5 of their last 6 overall. Though their first 2 games would not have hit this specific total, their offense was firing on all cylinders in their last game, and it seems like Madison Square Garden is a comfort zone. I fully expect the Wildcats offense to continue playing at the level they have in this tournament. Together these two have combined to average 152 points per game in the tournament. The over is 5-0 in Kansas State's last 5 NCAA tournament games. Take the over 144.5 points. Connecticut vs Gonzaga. Gonzaga's tendency to get off to a slow start makes the Bulldogs a terrifying betting option against a UConn team that is looking like the NCAA tournament favorite right now. The Huskies have rolled through their first 3 games and have won all 15 of their non-conference games by double digits this season. Gonzaga is coming off an emotional game against UCLA, while UConn was able to cruise down the stretch, giving the Huskies an edge on Saturday night. They also have more size than Gonzaga in the paint, so this will likely be Tim's worst game of the tournament. UConn has covered the spread in 8 of its last 9 games and is 12-1 in its last 13 games as a favorite. Our team pick is UConn minus 2 points. There has been no last-second drama in UConn's tournament games so far. They beat 13th seed Iona by 24, the 5th seed St. Mary's by 15, and the 8th seed Arkansas by 23. They have played like one of the strongest teams in the tournament, utilizing outside shooting and strong efforts on the boards to cruise to the Elite 8. In their last game, the Huskies were led by sophomore guard Jordan Hawkins with 24 points in the win. Gonzaga trailed UCLA by as many as 13 in their Sweet 16 matchup, but stormed back in the second half to take the victory and advanced to the Elite 8. Julian Strother hit a clutch 3 to take the lead with 7 seconds left to take a 2-point lead, and eventually Gonzaga controlled the boards in the game, winning the rebounding battle 50-26. 6'10" Drew Timm may have had the best game of his career, going for 36 points and 13 rebounds in the win. This is a high number for an Elite 8 game. Both teams have size on the inside to disrupt easy looks at the rim. UConn has gone under the total in 5 of their last 7 games, and Gonzaga has gone under in 3 of their last 5. This is the highest total number UConn has seen since January 25 against Xavier, showing that UConn games are not typically this high scoring. The Huskies do not play at a fast pace. Their 211th ranked tempo is evidence that they like to slow it down, utilize their post presence and work for open looks. Both teams will play cautiously and attempt to limit their turnovers on this big stage. Ultimately this number is too high, and the under is the play. Take the under 153.5 points. Before we end this video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below.